It's 12 noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West.
And this is Reprint.
This isn't breaking headlines. This is a second look with context added for perspective.
This is Reprint, edited after the headlines.
Okay, good Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, I'm having sound issues. Happy Friday. Welcome. You can hear me. If you can hear me, please. Victor just joined. I cannot hear anything myself.
Can you hear me?
I cannot. You know what? I think we almost need to go out. I probably need to go out. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, yes.
I can't hear you. Can you guys hear? If you guys can hear Victor, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. I'm not sure what's going on, but we're having technical difficulties this morning. Technical difficulties, just a part of the game. Let me know if you guys can hear.
Let's restart. I can hear you fine. I can hear you good, clearly.
I have no idea. I can't read your lips, so I don't know what you're saying. I have no idea.
Yeah, see, I can, yeah, okay. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning from the West Coast, and shout out to the East Coast, having some technical difficulties, so please stand by. We are here. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Edna and Samson, can y'all hear us? Can you hear me clearly? Christal couldn't. Good morning. Christal will be back in a second. She had to go out, come back in because technical difficulties this morning. Technical difficulties. Oh, you can hear me fine. Good. That's good. Okay. Well, Christal will be here in a second. In the meantime, let's start off. Just a little bit of music until she come back in. How everybody doing today? Hey, Tammy, how you doing? Waiting for Christal to come back in. I don't know what happened. I'm not sure why her mic wasn't working. It's Friday. Hello, Jordan. Thanks for joining us. Waiting for Christal to come on. She'll be on in a second. Yeah, just 1 second, Tammy. We'll be going in some technical difficulties this morning, Can you hear the music? Get ready for Friday. This is Friday. We got Jamal coming on a little bit later on with all the sports takes. I'm excited about that. Where's Christal at? Come on. Well, as we're waiting for Christal to come on, how's everybody doing out there? Talk to me. What's new? What's going on? What's happening this weekend for everybody? Yes. Thanks, Tammy. You can hear me fine. Thank you. Christal is coming on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I also hear LL Cool J.
Yeah, I'm playing it.
Don't play that because we're gonna get tagged.
Sorry, I was just playing some music.
Yeah, YouTube will
okay. Got it.
The thing down. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm not sure what was going on, but I could not hear initially, but I'm back.
I am back.
Yeah, I'm back. But yeah, music will get us.
Okay. Well, yeah. Didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, now you know. Okay. Well, today we are in what is today? what's today? The date is what? June 5th?
I don't even know. June 5th, I think it is.
Yes,
Yep, June 5th.
June 5th.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's June 5th. We are in Black Music Month, and
Yes.
Victor was playing a little LL Cool J.
I know, right?
Hopefully won't get in trouble for, but in any case, it is Black Music Month, and we are excited about that. You guys know we have Jamal that should be joining us shortly. But for right now, we are excited about, we're going to be sharing things about Black music all month. We have a Black Music Month digital cover that's coming soon. But last night in Atlanta, we had this is a new set of awards, and I'm always for anytime we can do something that's specifically for us. The Black American Music Association hosted its inaugural Black American Music Awards, also known as the BAM-X Awards, during Black Music Week in Atlanta. It was held at the Ray Charles Performing Arts Center at Morehouse College. The event celebrated legends and cultural shifters who have helped shape Black music. As you guys see, it was hosted there by A.J. Johnson, who we all remember from 106 in Park on BET. Also, Jermaine Dupri was given the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis Award. T.I. was honored. Honored legendary figures and groups included Peabo Bryson, Anthony Hamilton, Jagged Edge, T.I., Brick, and the iconic production duo Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And that's actually really cool that Jermaine Dupri was given that award and they were actually there. That takes it up quite a bit. There were also appearances from Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, Young Jock, and Julian Horton. Again, this was all held at the Ray Charles Performing Arts Center, which is on Morehouse College, part of Morehouse College. So a great way to kick off or to celebrate Black Music Month. I did not realize there was a Black Music Week. So
I didn't know that either. You got a little video player?
Okay.
Let's run that video.
Never chase bread, chase the vision. Make your word when you say it, be the business. No cap, God am a witness. Somebody tell them people Mr. Him is here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mr. Him is here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mr. Him.
Yeah,
More music that we're gonna get penalized for.
Oh, really? That was you talking to the video.
Yes, I didn't mean. I meant. Never mind. I meant to show you that, but we can't play music.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I thought you could play like clips. Like you can do clips of stuff. It won't be as long as it's not like the whole song.
You'll get a notification shortly about this. And we can't do that, but. For those of you that watched it live, you got a chance to enjoy. For those of you guys that are watching this in a replay, that will be removed. But it looked like a great celebration here in Atlanta, celebrating Black music. I think that, you think of cities that are a part of Black music and really contributed. There's so many, from Detroit, obviously, to Memphis, to LA, but of course, Atlanta definitely has a stake in the game. And I love the fact that in Atlanta, you have this mixture of like political leaders, music industry execs, all of them kind of come together and really do celebrate the culture. So awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's great that we have Black Music Awards. We didn't have that before. We have like a SOARS. We have the Vibe Awards, all the other ones, but Black Music Awards, we didn't, that's great to have. I think that's
I think that we should do more of our own awards, and when we show up for them, then that takes away some of the desire to fit into other people's situations, because there's always like this like the issue with the Grammys, and
we never have our own.
Yeah, like just have our own, and specifically here in Atlanta, I love the fact that it was held at Morehouse. That's a great location for it, a lot of history there. So that's one of, and I saw people talking about it. I wasn't exactly sure what was going on because I've just been, focused on kind of like with my blinders on. But it looked like a great event, and kudos to everyone that participated and that was awarded last night. I love the fact that Atlanta's mayor is going to be in the place. Atlanta's mayor
he
also
might as well be, right?
Yeah, also is going to
well be
include in the entertainment of the city, which lets you know where the priorities are for the city is definitely in promoting and uplifting part of the culture. So I thought I had something else on that. Just people excited about it. I hope that this will go on to be something that is done every year. This was the first one. And I think just honoring people that were. It's interesting to see the Jagged Edge got their flowers. That's
I know,
really,
right? I had a chance to sit down with Jagged Edge a while back, maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Mhm.
Great interview, Jock and Jagged Edge, and great guys, man. I like Jagged Edge. They're my third favorite group. It goes Jackson's, it goes New Edition, and then it goes Jagged Edge.
Wow.
In that
Okay.
order, yeah.
No Jodeci, no Boys to Men.
Yeah, but I'm more of a person that I like the story behind the group more than I do Jodeci and Boys to Men. Yeah, kind of sort of with my group when I was coming up as a teenager, when I was younger. Yeah. But Jagged Edge as a grown man and watching their story and them being brothers and standing the test of times and not breaking up and that story. I mean, Jagged Edge is, and their music is great. The vocals is, I just like them better than Boys to Men.
Hey, and we all have our preferences.
And Jodeci.
We all have our preferences. I think we probably shouldn't pit groups against each other. They're all
no.
But yeah, I don't usually hear Jackson's, New Edition, and then Jagged Edge. But.
Well, I mean, because I grew so just to be clear, I New Edition's my favorite group all time, right? Mm-hmm. And I've been studying. I sang in groups, I sang in choirs, I sang in church. I was in groups as a kid, as an adult, as a young person, and I just studied groups and in the artistry of the group. And Boys to Men put together, they were cool. New Edition had, they had their run. Jodeci, I love Jodeci, but Jodeci wasn't really a group. They were more of a band, kind of like, it was kind of weird dynamic. Casey and JoJo sang. Dalvin and Dalvin and Devontae didn't really do all the singing. They were background vocals.
Neither did Ronnie and Mike. Mike didn't sing at all.
No, but the dynamic is different. That's what it's a whole story behind it. But I'm telling you, like Jagged Edge.
Yeah, we all have our faves. We all have our faves. They all great.
And they all, to this day, I don't know. I just like them. Like what they bring to the.
Yeah. So Jagged Edge and Anthony Hamilton, which I'm sure everybody. I've never met anyone that said anything negative about Anthony Hamilton. Just a very down to earth. Yeah. I've interviewed him several times. Very down to earth guy.
His music is great too.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're talking about. It's just the focus of the music. Yeah. I probably have had different experiences with some of the other groups, but yeah, it's just good to see everybody honored and just creating something that is for us and by us. I think it's really important.
By us.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to more happening. More happening today. Black Music Month. Now, the next thing on the docket for today is there has been a lot of social media controversy over what I like to call in this article I wrote for Lenox Parker, the Daphne Joy effect. For anyone that is not aware, we know that a few years ago we had this very, very just over the top trial with P. Diddy. This is one of the women that was involved. I think she was anonymous in the trial, but people really immediately knew who they were talking about. This is Daphne Joy. She has a child with 50 Cent, and she was also one of the women in the freak offs with Diddy. there she is with 50 Cent with their son Sire, who is now 13 years old.
Jeez.
And she is, in addition to being one of the women named in the Freak Off, she's also an OnlyFans. I don't want to say model, because I believe that when you're doing OnlyFans, you're doing a little bit more than taking pictures. So recently there was a video that came out, a leaked Freak Off video, with her and Diddy and some of the nameless gentlemen that were classified, I guess, as sex workers in their Freak Off network. In the video, she is it's basically a video of their intimate times, right? That don't seem necessarily intimate. They just seem a little bit more. Yeah. Anyway, after this was leaked,
seem more like times than intimate. I got you.
Yeah, definitely not really intimate, but and also definitely not really. It didn't really look like there was a lot of love lost between her and Diddy. It looks like it was an opportunity. If you remember in the trial, right, Tammy, thank you. She's an OnlyFans content creator, not model, but OnlyFans content creator. So this video was leaked, and she came out with a statement, and her statement basically pointed the finger at Diddy. She said that she only did these things because she was in love with him and she was trying to make him happy. And now, she's learned that that's not how you have to be in a relationship with someone. And then she also said she was still worthy of love, which we all are worthy of love. And she still, she knows that she's a good person, X, Y, Z. And then after that, she released another video encouraging people to join her OnlyFans account. And so 50 Cent has been very vocal about the fact that he's not happy with her actions. Obviously, they are split up. A lot of people were saying that he was hurt. He retaliated and said he's not hurt. He doesn't care what she does. He's concerned about their son. Now, I did look it up, and their son, Sire, which you saw in that photo, is 13 years old. So my first thought as a mother of a son is I cannot imagine the video of the mother being released. We already heard a lot online, but the video being released and then her coming out and saying this and then encouraging people to go to her OnlyFans. To her point, she's gotten an 800% increase in her OnlyFans. Her OnlyFans audience has increased since this video was leaked. So anyway, I wrote an article because I think it's important that we acknowledge that there are victims, but not just because someone has gone through something similar does not necessarily mean they are a victim. The Daphne Joy effect, when victimhood and accountability collide, is interesting because out of her, what's the backlash for her has been to increase her OnlyFans account, right? With Cassie, we see that Cassie ended up leaving the country. It was reported just recently that she left the country. Her and her husband and their children moved outside of the country, probably to kind of escape all the publicity that was garnered during that trial and everything that she had to go. Daphne seems to be leaning into it in order to keep her OnlyFans account going. And I just think that we have to make sure that we acknowledge that there's a difference. Two things can be true, right? You can be a victim, but then you also, some people are not victims. I know it's a very touchy subject. I have to say, one of these things is not the same. Is that fair? You guys think? And it's funny.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
He was like, "Be careful, Mom, because you don't want to say that someone is the victim if they are." And I'm not trying to say that this woman might not have been a victim, but what I am saying is that a young woman being persuaded to do something against her will, and a of age person doing it and using it to promote their sex-based business is just two different things, two very different things.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic to what you just said. It's weird that you say on one hand you're a victim, but then on the other hand you're promoting your business right behind it. And if your business was different comparing to like if you were a realtor or something else, that's different. But your business that you're sharing is pretty much in line with what you just said. What you did. But then at the same time, I've heard reports that she's come out and said things about what was going on and she didn't like it, but she never addressed her son as being one of her main cares or concerns. And it's hard. I mean, I don't know what these kids will go through knowing what the parents did. At some point you got to sit them down and say, hey, this is what mommy did or mommy's doing, or how, I don't know. Like Northwest, how she's gonna,
He's got to know at 13, I don't care what school he goes to, or if he's homeschooled, he's got to know some of this going on. That's unfortunate, but I know, I also think this is just a lesson you got to be very careful in who you choose to have children with. Maybe it's more than just have a baby by me and be a millionaire, perhaps.
Is this feedback? Is this get back for what he did to Sean? Like putting the next Netflix movie out? Is this, because who leaked the video? Who put the video out?
I mean, I don't think it's getting back at him at all. I don't think this bothers him. I mean, if anybody, it bothers his son. I mean, he was always very vocal and calling her a sex worker. When he was not, I don't think this is hurting him.
Okay.
Definitely not that. But in any case, I do think as a woman, it's important to acknowledge that there are situations where a person can use something to their advantage. And as a woman who was in the entertainment industry for a long time and chose not to, use sex as a way to make money, I think that it's fair for women that don't do that to say, there are other ways to make money. You choose to do this. This is a very obvious choice. When you say, I want a love contract that pays me $10,000 a month in order to be available for freak offs, that is a very choice. So you cannot call yourself a victim afterwards, right? Now, I also don't think 50 Cent is a victim because you chose her to be your child's mother. You did that, right? So that's on you. It probably worked out. It probably didn't work out too good for you, but that's also a choice. But I just think as a woman, it's important for me to say there are victims and there are women that are not victims. And this behavior is not in alignment with the victim. Yeah.
It's also good to understand what people's brands are too, because everybody's branding is different. Some people, their branding is set up a certain way, with media and publicity and, being out there, in the gossip columns all the time. And some people aren't,
Yeah. And this is definitely a way for her to get more attention. But you guys know it's Friday. It's Friday. And so
Friday.
It says you and Victor can't say it, but a trick is a trick and a hope is a hope.
Oh.
Edna wrapped it up very nicely for me. Edna say what I could not say. But moving on, it's Friday, so we got to talk about numbers and sports and all those things. So please help us welcome the one and only Jamal Bottomline Burke.
What's going on, Victor? What's going on, Christal?
Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Hey, Victor, congratulations on the first game. The New York Knicks prevailed. What's your thoughts on that?
I got a video for you.
My whole life is the Knicks. Everything I did is for the Knicks. I was there when we had nothing. Nothing. What do y'all have now? Nigga, we got Jalen Brunson.
Hold on.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. As the great John Clark Thompson said, my peers is who I debate with. Everybody else I teach. So I'm happy, Victor.
Okay.
I'm happy, Victor. What peers?
Listen.
What peers, Victor?
Listen, hold up. Here it is. Here what it is, right? I'm not a Knicks fan like that. I'm a East Coast fan. So it could have been Celtics, it could have been the Hawks, it could have been Philly. I don't care. It's the East Coast. Okay. We gotta stick together on some point. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that. Loyalty to the East Coast. I respect that.
Regional.
Yeah, it ain't just New York. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So just for the fans watching, I'll give some analysis. So I know a question has been swirling about whether or not Victor Wembanyama, the center for the San Antonio Spurs, is he or is he not going to be the face of the NBA? Well, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? In real time, he is the face of the NBA, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
He checks all the box, right? He has the game, you know, and one of the things I love about him, he's always clean cut. He does a phenomenal job pre and post game with the press, so he's a media darling. And right now, he appeals and he attracts demographics from a 5-year-old to a 65-year-old and everything in between, because he's a hard worker, he's respectable, and he seems like if you cut outside the lines with him, he definitely will get a little bit aggressive, and he's okay at getting ejected. And so that variable, that unpredictable factor is what people are embracing and people are tuning into, along with the fact that he has a skill set from a 7'5" frame that the NBA and the world has yet to see.
7'5". Woo!
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that. Jesus.
Yeah, his mom is 6 something. His dad is 6
8.
something.
I'm sorry?
His mom is 6 feet something. His dad is like 6'11". Mom is like 6'8". Some mom is tall. Mom is 6 something.
Yeah.
His dad is 6 something. Like, yeah, he's
creating Amazons, creating, you know, gladiators and
crazy
and heroes. That is crazy.
Absolutely. And it's like the thing on the off season, if there's 2 areas to focus on, if I was him or his trainer, number 1 would be conditioning, the amount of minutes that he's going to have to play in order for him to play at this level is going to be something that has to be addressed. You're already starting to see it with every other game. There's slight fatigue. So, because he's never been as far before and never played these amount of minutes under these pressure cooker situations, but he's clearly built for it. And then the other thing is just getting stronger, you know, with his lower extremities, legs and things like that. So he could take the pounding, because it seems like that's the number 1 retaliation from oppositions, is to try to, you know, punk him or be physical with him. But he's stepping up to that test. And I think strategically, the Knicks, even though they won, they should take a page out of OKC's book, The Thunder, where they use SGA in last series to move Victor Wembanyama out of the paint, and so that way it allows other players to get shots off without having to be worrying about getting it blocked. But I think the key player to watch closely on the Knicks, along with Jalen Brunson, because he looks like he's going to be able to be productive and make a strong contribution every game because they don't have no answers for him, is going to be Cat. You know what I mean? It's going to be Karl-Anthony Towns, because he looks like he is up for the task of slowing Wemby down, getting him in foul trouble as he did in game 1. So if he could sustain this level of high play and physicality, and quite frankly, he is usually the one that has a condition problem. So I like the fact that he's accepting not to be, you know, responsible with the scoring power, and he's upped his responsibility with just making sure he plays good defense, rebound, and attacking Wemby on any one-on-one isolation situations. And so I say kudos to Cat for those recognition. And he, along with Jalen Brunson, has a chance to be a legend in New York City forever. If they manage to win this series, they will go down in New York sports history, and that's something I'm sure they're all motivated with.
Wow. So tonight, they play tonight, right?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, okay.
I thought it was tonight. I thought it was Friday night.
That's Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh, that's good. Hey,
I don't
They'll win this series. Tonight. Oh, tomorrow. They win tomorrow, boy.
I love it. New York is taking it game by game. Say we're going to celebrate and
listen,
and celebrate and party like it's like the end is happening every game we win. We are not waiting until the end. I love it. I mean, you got to.
I got a small clip of New York. Sorry, the Knicks, man. They got their team, boy.
You gotta love the spirit.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
You gotta love it. I want New York to win just because of that. I just want to see the craziness. I don't know how many police they had out there. They are ready. New York,
Listen,
NYPD is ready for any issues. But I think it's going to be good for the culture, Jamal. I got to go with New York.
Yeah, it is.
Culture.
They're saying that
I'm not anti New York, and that's why I got this orange on. You know what I mean? I'm showing.
Okay.
My allegiance to the city so nice they had to name it twice, right? Like at the end of the day, I'm an East Coast guy. I'm East Coast through and through.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Just a little bit, Jamal. Just a little bit, and your accent and the bravado is definitely not from the West Coast.
Nope.
It's definitely East Coast. You cannot be in Jamal's presence and not realize this is somewhere where it's very cold on the East Coast.
They're saying that if New York wins, it's gonna be Gotham City. Stay at home.
I believe it.
Oh, man, crazy.
But this is the power. Yeah, this is the power of sports, right? You got everybody in a festive, joyful mood.
Sure
now
do.
You're seeing people that probably never spoke before speaking again. People who've never had relations are having relations again, and that's something I've seen firsthand at Boston College when I've seen people get divorced and didn't speak for each other for decades, and then because some kid from Brockton is playing a sport, now that couple reunited just to come to the game, and then ultimately got back together. So it's real transformative.
Wow.
And as you can see, the police officers in New York City are allowing civilians to a little bit of a heightened behavior because they understand, this is a beautiful moment for New York City.
Nice. Tammy says she's going to the game.
Tammy,
wow. Tammy's a real one. Yeah, Tammy's a real one. Okay.
She's been a real one. But I've never thought about that. I do know that there's nothing for the morale of a city or a school. And I can say that from being a student, being alumni for University of Oklahoma. When I was there during my time at the school, I was there for 4.5 years, and we were in a slump. We went through coaches. It was horrible. We had all these different coaches, Schnellenberger, Blake. It was just a lot of different coaches. And then when I became a senior, we had Stoops. And the next year we won the national championship. And man, just, from being on the ground and feeling the disappointment, the heaviness. Yep. And then after that happened, OU, because it's a football school, it's one of them schools that, people in the state really, really, really just connect to, kind of like Alabama. It's a weird thing. But there's nothing like being able to celebrate. And some people don't even go to the school. They just feel like they're a fan, right? And it does connect. Yeah. I don't know about making couples have relations, but I do think everything else that you said is definitely something that you see happen. I would just say for the city of Atlanta, if we could just get to, if we could just get through a season without the type of disappointments that we have endured, I think the whole city, the morale of the city would be in a different place. Absolutely.
No, 100%. And a final note on what I realized watching Game 1, even the advertisement was almost like a micro Super Bowl, because out of nowhere, you having blockbuster movies being promoted in commercials. It just seems like the quality and the level of commercials also, was heightened in Game 1. And I think that's a reflection of, New York media and people understanding the moment and the eyeballs that are watching this game. And it's been reported on Wednesday, President Trump will be in attendance at Madison Square Garden.
I don't know I don't know what's going to happen.
Do not attend, please do not attend.
Oh, wow. Well,
please do not attend. Please.
We are journalists and reporters, so I'm just reporting the news. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And that's
I know.
That definitely changes. That definitely is important, because that's going to change the energy, either in a great way or a horrible way. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Right.
It may unite people politically. Who knows? Like it could be like a political, place where people find, because sports is one of those things that is not, you're not supposed to talk about religion or politics, but
Polarizing, yeah.
Like people, because even though people are angry, they have so much excitement and passion about their team. It's
Correct.
hilarious to watch. You know, I have friends. I have a really good friend that's from Boston that is a Patriots fan, and he gets so just
telling you
up. It's crazy. And then it's interesting to watch as a woman, like the passion that men exhibit when they are loyal to a team. Victor, you're just kind of jumping on here. I don't know that you're loyal. Where are you loyal?
Boston team, Celtics, Patriots, Red Sox.
Okay.
I mean, and then secondly,
it's a win in town. Yeah, it's a win in town for sure.
And then secondly, it goes my whole life: Red Sox, Celtics, and Patriots, right? And then when I moved to Atlanta, it's been the Hawks and the Falcons.
Yeah, well,
because the Hawks and the Falcons seem like a junior team when it comes to like the Patriots and the Red Sox. And
you was doing so well, Victor. Christal,
no. I'm not saying
well, man.
no. I'm not saying no. What I'm saying is you look at pattern and you look at team. You look at people. You look at the city. You look at the championships, right? And what I'm saying is, when I look at the Patriots, the Celtics, and the Patriots, Celtics, and the Red Sox, I see the same qualities in the Braves, the Hawks, and the Falcons.
You go.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So it's easy to yeah.
You said junior team, and it just kind of threw us off with this a little.
Well, I mean, because the Boston teams we know have won 12, 15 championships because it was different times, man. We know different times. Back in the time when with more white folks, I'm just saying different times.
And we're gonna segue on to, speaking of Atlanta, good news for the city of Atlanta, because their superstar wide receiver, Drake London, signed a 4-year extension with $100 million guaranteed. Woo. It's a total combination with respects with incentives included if he's able to perform and receive those, up to $150 million. So kudos to him, well deserved. I think it was impeccable timing just coming now in this particular offseason. Obviously, next season, the main focus is going to be Bijan Robinson. In my opinion, he's a top 2 running back in the entire NFL. So now that Kevin Stefanski, the new head coach, it just and Matt Ryan, the new general manager and the president of football operations, it just goes to show you this is something that was at the forefront of their mind, and it's something that they deem urgent, if not very important, to get that out the way. And then so that way next year, they fully anticipate a playoff berth this season, and then they could go ahead and solidify shoring up the services of Bijan Robinson, who again he's my front runner to lead the NFL in rushing next year. This man's dynamic. He's quick and fast. He can carry the ball inside the numbers. Inside the tackles, and obviously he does dynamic special things on a perimeter and in screen passes and in the passing game as well. So I fully expect this season to be a playoff type season for our Atlanta Falcons, Christal.
Well,
wow, that's a jab. He said,
since Jamal played for the Falcons, he obviously is a part of that family, right?
But he said our. He said our.
I got love for Patriots too, Victor. I got love for Patriots too. You know what I mean?
I'm a Falcon fan, man. What you talking about? Come on now.
All right, we accept that. We embrace that. We love that. You know what I mean? We love that. All right.
Wow.
Did you have the video I sent? Did you have the video I sent you of Jamal?
Which
Victor?
video? Which one?
You didn't do it. So I just want, because we've been talking about fitness. And
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna find it. Go ahead.
Going back and forth over the fitness. I think Victor posted his steps. And Jamal was getting it in, and I just said, I just feel like we should show all sides of what's happening here. And I too have been getting it in. I've been getting it.
Okay.
Tammy asked a question, Jamal. She says, does Atlanta have the front line to protect him?
They actually do. And they actually have a formidable defensive line as well. And I just think that defense too is a top 5 defense in all of the NFL. It's all gonna boil down, in my opinion, what kind of scheme do they run on offense and how involved are the tight ends into the passing game. And that's something that we're going to be looking for in the first few games. So they have all the pieces to go to the playoff, and especially in the division that they're in, it's very favorable for the Atlanta Falcons this year to be in the playoffs next year.
Well, there you go. This sounds good. This
That's
sounds
gonna be
like
good.
in a much better place this year. Jamal, I'm just praying that everything you're saying comes to fruition in the fall.
Amen.
In the
We'll
fall.
see. We'll
Yes.
see. We'll see.
Victor, you can't go on both sides. Victor, I just hearted that to you in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Christal, one of our beloved R&B singers down here, must be one of Victor's favorite, is Darnell Jones, because Victor has demonstrated consistently he gives his team all his love, but only half the time.
Wow.
I don't know.
Keep
Earlier today, Victor said, and I think this is important because I've never heard this. Tammy has more smoke for Jamal. She said, really? Tammy said, really, because every time they go against Carolina, I don't see it. Yikes.
I agree. So I agree. Tammy's 100% right. It's not what you know, it's what you could prove. Yeah. And history has shown that they have fallen short when they needed the games the most. And I think the only major concern that I personally have with the Falcons is at the quarterback position. What kind of stability will be provided is going to be instrumental to see how powerful that offense could be. And that's what I'm saying. They have all the parts. Is this, can everybody be on the same page at the same time, on the field, off the field? And it's extremely hard to do that. Only championship type teams do that and are able to create and sustain that level of chemistry in a genuine way. But Matt Ryan, I definitely fully support him. And from all accounts, from the videos I see on social media, as far as the talks that he's pouring in, and also the standard that he's making sure that everybody's accountable in the building, and players especially, that echoes championship pedigree. And so we're gonna have to wait and see, Tammy. It's gonna be a great conversation to have come October. We can have a lovely conversation on some cocoa, some hot chocolate or something at that time.
Speaking of Carolina, I want to add, you may not know, Jamal, about this specific player, but I'm a fan just because he's into horses and the cowboy life. But Xavier Legette has been a player that they had a lot of hope for, and he did not deliver at the level that a lot of people had for him, the expectations that were set. I saw something recently that said that he was he's been working out, and he's literally like changed himself physically. He's gotten into better shape, shed some pounds, and that they were saying in preseason he looked so good, and that people are going to be surprised, and they are still hopeful that he will be able to deliver what they initially thought when he was drafted. Do you have any thoughts on him and how that's happened? Because I know there was so much excitement. I became familiar with him when he was ambassador for the NFL at the Kentucky Derby, and we just were so excited. And then it just seemed like for 2 seasons he was not able to deliver, and so I guess he's kind of gone through a transformation, and they're hopeful again.
Yeah. So a lot of times, Victor and Christal, a lot of players' goal is just to make it to the pros, right? Yeah. And then you get a little bit of money and see how they adjust to that. And it sounds like, this gentleman, somebody got into his ear in a real way, and impress and emphasize the importance of the small window of reality that you have as far as life in the NFL, and especially when you are one of the designated players, which he is, that franchise and organization actually has expectations for you to be a contributor and somebody that they expect for you to be productive.
Right.
And so a lot of times what happens is the transformation happens off the field first. You change your eating routine, you change your group of friends, you dedicate yourself more in the film room, the weight room, and it sounds like that's the type of maturation and transformation that this young man's having. And so I just think that it sounds like he's finally matured and has accepted the real life responsibility of being a NFL player.
It's got to be it's got to be a huge adjustment period, like an adjustment from being a star, because anybody that makes it to the league is a star, you know, coming from where they are.
Absolutely.
And then realizing that you have to work to be a star amongst stars. That's got to be a difficult. And this young man is from the country, like the country of South Carolina.
The sticks.
The sticks. And so the competition, not that the competition is not, you know, steep out there, but it's probably a much different world for him.
It is.
So I'm interested to see what will happen. Tammy, do you guys, because I know Carolina fans were really vocally disappointed in him. And he actually has acknowledged that, and then, you know, has definitely put in the work. So we'll see, but I'm just interested to, you know if you think that can help, or do you think some people just were good enough to make it and may be a little oversold compared to what people saw them do in college?
Yeah, all the above. I think one of the dirty little secrets, Christal and Victor, is all of us as athletes who especially come from humble beginnings or, you know, troubled circumstances, we tell ourselves the narrative that everything's going to be okay when we make it to the NBA, or everything's going to be okay when we make it to the NFL. Everything's going to be okay when we make it to NHL. And it's not. As a matter of fact, everything's going to magnify more, because now you have occupied the spot that every man walking this earth, whether they say it out loud or not, wanted to be in. And you combine that with now you have more money than you ever did. I mean, Reggie Bush famously talked about how he went from college where he was budgeting $40 a week, right? Allegedly, because we all know he got paid, but that's a story for another day. But he was budgeting he went from budgeting $40 a week, Christal and Victor, to spending $10,000, $15,000 and not think nothing of it.
Yeah.
So it's just an abrupt, extreme, the pendulum swings the other way from not being able to afford a meal to be able to buy the franchise. You know what I mean?
But I wonder if that changes with the fact of now the NIL deals that athletes are having, like the young gentleman from Brockton who has made $4 or $5 million even before getting into the league. So he's not stressed about money, and he has good parents around him to help him focus. So if an athlete is in college and he's making $1 million a year in his junior and senior year, that changes the scope, isn't it? A little bit?
Well, the money's the byproduct. I know we get so distracted about these numbers, but the bottom line, you got to have the goods, baby, because there's plenty of people that's getting paid that don't contribute. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so important to keep the main thing. And that's why I say, you know, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, who said it's so important to keep reestablishing and resetting new goals.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because the money is just, again, that's in the box. That's in the bag when you make it to the league. That, like, you're going to have plenty of money. That's not the thing. Can you still keep the main thing, and still work as if you're still trying to get the money?
Yeah.
And so that's what separates the good from the great from the special from the Hall of Famers. Is that they get so infatuated of what comes along with the life of a professional athlete, as opposed to dedicating their life to be a professional athlete.
Yeah. I can see that, because I've dealt with that with artists. Like, some artists just are doing it because they want to be famous. Others would Others just want to be the best regardless. Like, I don't care if I'm in the league, if I'm on the playground, if I'm at the court at the Y. Like, some people just they're driven regardless. They don't want to just get to the league. Others, like you said, and a lot of that probably can come from trauma where it's an escape. Like, I'm doing this so we can get out. And then you may not have a backup plan. But then there's those that are just like, I'm just driven to be the best and to be great at whatever. And it doesn't matter if I'm in the league or if I'm all-star, whatever. I still got to be better. I still got to be better. I still got to be better. So, I think that you have to have a certain level of emotional safety to be able to not, because survival mode will get you there, but it probably won't keep you there, right?
No.
But it's the next level of competitiveness in a safe space. So I know I'm good, but I'm still competitive. Some people are just competitive because they've got to get out. I got to be able to eat. I got to be able to feed my mom. I got to be able to do this. So it's a difference. But then we have those like our good friend here on my right who has done that, but still is that same competitive person. Victor, I think we got some footage here.
We got it. Let's play it.
See this guy right here? Yo, I'm always running into these big dudes and always have some philosophy about why you be strong. See him doing 130 farmer carries. Nah, just let it go. Let it run. God damn.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, 130. Ooh, that
was 120. The gentleman
that's some good work.
that was initially in the frame, he actually is a former NFL player. He played defensive end for about 8 years or something like that. So we was talking, and then while we was talking, picked up the 130. I'm like, well, you can't do that in front of my face. You know, you can't just do that in front of my face now. So it was good.
I can't do no 130.
I carry the car. I carry the cross. You know, I carry the cross sometimes.
Hey,
I don't know if I could do 130. Maybe I could. I don't know. I haven't tried that much. The most I probably do is 50. I don't try to kill myself.
don't kill me.
Yes, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay, Victor, man. It's okay. So, but Victor too. We almost forgot before we move on. AJ Brown, the newly acquired New England Patriot wide receiver, All-Pro, was traded from Philadelphia Eagles. Right, this has been something that's been the worst kept secret around the NFL circles. Right, you know, but I'm so happy for him because he looks so happy. And if anybody wants to know what a Hall of Fame or future or all-pro receiver looks like, or his worth ethic is, just simply watch any of AJ Brown's clips from the Patriots. His footwork is impeccable. His body stability, the way he leans, the way he shifts his weight, his burst. Man, his hands, and just how humble he is as far as repeatedly saying publicly and privately how he wants to earn everything he gets. And I think that this move helps his trajectory of becoming a Hall of Fame, because I think if he stayed in Philadelphia, that might have been curtailed. So I'm happy the fact that he's in a place that he's accepted and not tolerated. And I love the fact that he reunited with his former Tennessee Titans coach, Mike Vrabel, because he's a football coach.
That's good.
And so New England will be the favorite to contest for a Super Bowl next season with that acquisition. Absolutely.
Well, you know what? I think this brings us to a great, we're talking about football and all the things. I think there's a celebration that I think we all should partake in. Russell Wilson announced his retirement. And after a job well done, he retired and automatically signed on to be a sports analyst with CBS. He put up the post, and there he is. There he is. He put up the post, and it made the announcement. That's really dope. Really, really happy for him. And he also shared the post with his wife Sierra. We know that he's been an amazing player, but I think that he's become a pop culture phenom because of the way he and Sierra, they do a lot of public things with their family, and but I think he's a great role model. I just wanted, Jamal to talk a little bit about his career, because I think a lot of people forget that this man was a star on the field way before he met Sierra at that White House dinner, and became a black music celebrity as well, just because of his wife. But just to kind of speak about his football career.
Yeah, a phenomenal football career. Let's go back from the beginning. So he comes to the Seattle Seahawks when the organization just paid then starting quarterback Matt Flynn $10 million a year. Back then, that was like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And all he did was beat out Matt Flynn, right? He wasn't paid no big bucks. He came in, had to earn his money. Yeah. And all he did was play 205 games, had a 14-year career, almost threw for 50,000 yards, and he threw for over 355 touchdowns. And I think he's 100% a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, because he's part of NFL history. When you start talking about the Legion of Boom, one of the best defenses in NFL history, he famously was a part of the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots. When he threw that interception on the 1 yard line, right? But he also won a Super Bowl the previous year. So you're talking about a Super Bowl winner. You're talking about a man that has lived a life that other men envy, right? Like you're talking about, he has Sierra, one of the most beautifulest, the highest emotional intelligent woman. She just very exudes femininity, maturity, warmth, all of the attributes and characteristics that a man, looks for in a woman, and has a beautiful family, and even happily accepted Future's son when there was some confusion and some cloudiness between Future and his baby mama Sierra at the time. You know what I'm saying? And so the way he stepped in and talked about like this is pennies when you're talking about whatever Future's child support payment was at the time, and he said and he purchased Sierra's masters at the time as a gift. So that's one less thing she has to worry about. That allowed her to catapult and pivot into independent route. And she could make the music when she wants and release it when she wants. So I know around the NFL circles, it's a little controversial because he's not the quintessential, black player, and he doesn't always do the things that we identify as black. But the fact that he's a responsible husband, a responsible man, a responsible father, taking care of his business, which is his family business, and they can say what they want, but they can't take that Super Bowl win away from him. So I think when it's all said and done, we're looking at a future Hall of Fame player on the field. And with the CBS sports analyst position, who knows and who's to say within the next 10, 15 years, he just might be also a Hall of Famer in the media space as well.
I'm interested to see what he will bring personality wise, because we don't hear a lot from him. He doesn't talk a lot. He has been very visible, since his relationship with Sierra, and I appreciate the fact that you address the cultural disconnect, because that's really sad that a lot of the only criticism that we've seen for Russell Wilson has been his swag, and that is not what. First of all, it doesn't have anything to do with numbers on the football field, yardage, or any of that. It also has nothing to do with the way he takes care of his family, accepted another man's child, not just accepted him, but would, treated him like his own, To me, he should be, instead of being criticized, that should be an example. You know, a man of integrity. We don't know him I don't know him personally, but just the example that we've seen is one that is shocking that so many people have criticism for. But I'm looking forward to hearing more from him personally, because we don't see him. We just see him, pictures of him on the field with Future. Sierra talks a lot, so she's talked about things, but I look forward to seeing who he is and what he has to say about the game of football.
We have some video if you want to see something real quick.
So I'm here on set, my first day, CBS Sports, NFL Today. I'm so excited. I got the whole set to myself right now until my guy, my new partner, my new teammate, Kyle Long, comes and joins me. Come join me. Let's go. We're going to have some fun together. I'll see you guys on Sundays, baby. So I'm here.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you. Yeah,
you can hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, after that clip, I take all that back. Psych. I'm gonna put a placeholder in my last sentence on my last take. Okay. I might have moved too fast. I was speeding. I was acting like I was running my 4.3840 time right there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put a pause on my last sentence about the Hall of Fame and media. To be determined. To be determined. Sorry about that.
Wow. Give the man a second. Give the man a second to breathe. Let him do what he got to do.
I think you got, you know, it's like we said, it's a learning curve. It's a little bit of a.
I'm being facetious. I'm being facetious. I'm just joking. I'm really happy for him. That's a good group. And Gail King even flirted with him already during his introduction interview with Nate Burleson. I did see that clip last night, and she was like, "Ain't he fine?"
Gail King.
So yeah.
Bless his heart. Well, we look forward to seeing that, and I'm sure this upcoming football season, either he's going to do great. Now, I will say for football analysts, you know, I think the ones that do really well are the ones that are very opinionated, and the ones that you know have an opinion that often may not be what the Monday night quarterbacks are saying, right? So we need you to come with we need him to come with a person with, you know, some opinions.
Okay, Skip. Okay, Skip. Okay, Skip. Let's go, Skip.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point, Christal, though. Because I think a lot of times as athletes, we know what we know, and we just assume you guys know what we know. But you guys don't know what we know. And so it's something that's very vanilla and minimum and basic to us is life-changing to y'all. And it might be an aha moment of connecting a dot that you wasn't able to connect prior to listening to his analysis. And so I think that that's something that needs to be emphasized more to players about just call what you see, say what you, if you see something, say something. And I think as more and more athletes assume that role, I think that's going to be more common.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that we're really honored to have you as our sports analyst, because I think there's a difference between those that have watched and those that have played. And I think just the perspective, you know, is going to be different. And I think a lot of times, like you said, you all know and don't know that we don't know. And then there's also, it's a drop in what, they don't even know. So it's like, we want to know from your perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
I think these conversations, because we're not talking to someone that is speculating or someone that wanted to be that, you know, we're talking to someone that's actually has done it and knows what's happening there. So looking forward to.
Because one of the unspoken codes as athletes is we don't discuss sports with non-athletes.
Oh, okay. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you.
You may never hear that publicly, but like that's an unspoken code. That's why a lot of former athletes, there are exceptions, of course, but like I would say 85% of athletes do not discuss sports.
I can see
right?
that.
Then you have ones that just I'm sorry?
Outside of with each other.
Correct. you know, of course you have some that's all they want to do is talk sports. You got those, you know what I mean? But I would imagine you could just observe your athlete friends that were fortunate to play professionally. Just observe who they talk sports to and don't, and I bet you the common denominator will be somebody else who already played at a high level.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that, and it's funny because I was with a gentleman friend that I, you know, spent a little time with, and we were at a lounge, and there were some guys arguing, and he wouldn't even engage. Like he just
That's what
like,
I'm saying. Yeah, right. It's so hard. One of my pet peeves, Christal and Victor, it is so hard to go to a bar or lounge and watch a playoff games and just the low brow,
the ignorance
commentary from common people, man. Oh my goodness! If I got some of the leaders, I got some leaders.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes
I
sense
don't
when
even want to hear it. Not only are you wrong on the blasphemous delusion of what you're seeing versus what you're saying versus what the reality is. Oh my, the disconnect is too far for me to stay calm.
How come he can't just catch the ball?
I just get up and leave.
How come he can't just catch the ball? Why did he just turn this way? Why did he just
Monday night quarterback? I feel like that when I, you know, as an entertainment publicist, specifically like in my heyday where I had a large roster of clients, and then you hear people saying something like just recently, you know, I had an issue with a client, and it was like, well, this is what their publicist, and I'm like, you really have no clue what's going on, and it will irritate me. So I'm not gonna indulge, but I'm sure it's heightened because of the fact that you're actually playing. But I definitely know so many things that the public thinks about the entertainment industry. It's just it's not true. But moving on to our next, I want to talk about our Black business of the day because Jamal, you're here in Atlanta, I'm here in Atlanta, and I want us to really, really promote this business because I heard the mayor of College Park went online, and I should have sent that clip to you. Victor, I'm going to send this clip to you because there's a reason that I wanted us to highlight this Black business of the day. Now, the funny thing is, Victor was like, are we sure that we should be highlighting this? Because we're all on a fitness journey, right? And this big back is the business is a restaurant, right? And hold on, let me see.
This is the business right here.
Big Back's Cajun Kitchens. Yes, Big Back's Cajun Kitchens is what I was where the business that we're highlighting, and I really want to encourage all of you to go there. I'm going to have Victor play this. I just sent it to you, Victor. Mayor Bianca, who's the mayor of College Park. I've met her several times. But yeah, so this is not something that we want to do every day, right? But for a cheap meal, this could be a great place to go. This is Big Back's Cajun Chicken. They are in the heart of College Park, which is not far from Camp Creek. They serve Louisiana-style dishes that are made fresh daily. And again, this is a cheap meal, guys. I'm not telling you to get off your workout program. Jamal, I'm not encouraging you to come off and to go here every day. But I do think it's important that we support this business because, you know, first of all, becoming a Black business owner is not easy. There they are, Big Back's Cajun Kitchen. And that, you know, New Orleans has amazing food, and it's amazing for Atlanta to have an authentic New Orleans cuisine here. But first of all, being a Black business owner is difficult because not only is there a lot of us do not have generational. That's not what we've done for generations. Yeah. Most people opening a business, they may be the first family in their to ever have owned their own business. You know, the money probably was, you know, they paid. They worked really diligently to get that money. This is not something that a lot of us just have passed down to us that we can just open a business. This is something that took blood, sweat, and tears. There's a learning curve with the ordinances and the city regulations and the liquor license and all the different things that you have to have in place in order to own a business. Because so many of us are first generation business owners, we don't know that. I can say for myself, owning a business, having a PR agency, I was the first person in my family to own a business, and I made a lot of mistakes that I paid for just because I did not know. And so a lot of times we like to say that we know, but we don't really know. And so outside of dealing with that as a, as a challenge, then we also know that there are a lot of others that do not want our businesses to succeed, right? This is the month of June. We obviously celebrate Juneteenth. We know that there were so many cities that had thriving Black businesses back after slavery, and those businesses were destroyed, right? Simply because others did not want to see us progress. That mindset has not changed. And so this business, the reason I say it's very important, if you're watching Lenox Parker and you're watching this broadcast from wherever, if you are in Atlanta or you have people in this city, it's important that we go and support this business simply because of what others are attempting to do. Victor, are we ready with that video?
1 second. It's uploading now.
Okay, so
yeah,
the mayor, and we're going to play this video that the mayor of College Park. And first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to her. I think that it's really important for us to vote on the local level because this mayor, I was able to meet her because I have a friend that has a business in College Park, and she came to the ribbon cutting. She was very, very active. She's not flashy, not doing a whole bunch of entertainment stuff, but she's very boots on the ground when it comes to that community. And that's what we need to be looking for in politicians. So it's really, really important if you want businesses that reflect you and your community, that you go out and be involved in voting for the politicians that are representing you, not necessarily the politicians. I'm not saying not to vote for others, but that needs to be your first priority, is to vote for who's affecting your city, your county, right?
Yeah.
She is very, very involved. Every year there's a Juneteenth celebration, and you can see her out there. My friend that has the business there, she was offering her help and the help of the city to support, to make sure that that business is successful. And so that is what she's been doing here. But not only is she supporting, but she's also calling out the fact that there are others that are targeting and harassing the business, trying to keep it from being successful. And that takes a lot of guts and courage for her to do that in her position. There are so many politicians that would help behind closed doors, but not be vocal about it. So I really, really respect and appreciate leaders like Mayor Bianca, that is the mayor of College Park here currently.
We got it. You want to play it? Ready? Okay.
Hey everybody, it's Mayor Bianca. Want to take a minute to talk to you about what harassment looks like. Sean is the owner of Big Back's Cajun Kitchen on Camp Creek Parkway. She called me on Monday because code enforcement showed up at her business saying she was running a nightclub. But she closes at 8 o'clock 3 nights a week and 10 o'clock the other 3. I don't know about you, but I've never been to a nightclub that closed before the 11 o'clock news. She didn't get violations at that point, she just got pressure. And I called it out at Monday's meeting. But since that meeting, it's gotten worse. Code enforcement came back and cited Sean for not having a business license for her smoothie shop. But here's what you need to know. She's been actively trying to get that license, but she couldn't get it because of administrative issues on the city's part. We dropped the ball, then cited her for it. But when code enforcement showed up with that citation, the city manager was sitting inside her business eating lunch. He didn't give the order. My colleague from Ward 2 did. He also directed city staff to tell Sean to unplug her gaming machines, which are licensed by the state of Georgia, and she's in full compliance with the state. And today, police showed up trying to check her paperwork, which is in line. And a business down the street has the same kind of machines and isn't getting code enforcement and police at his door. She's not being held to a standard that's being applied to anyone else. So let's be clear what it's about, because I'm not scared to call it out. It's the weaponization of city employees against a woman who has put her blood, sweat, and tears into making College Park better. She's invested in the corridor and worked alongside her fellow business owners to clean up the area surrounding her business. She plays by the rules, she pays her taxes, and she has shown up for College Park. One person does not get to decide that his power is greater than the people's. That's not how this works. Sean is not the only business owner feeling this squeeze. And if that's your story in College Park, I want to hear from you because you are not alone. Silence is how this kind of thing takes root and spreads. And if you've never been to Big Backs, now's the time. Go support Sean. The food is amazing. Spend your money with a business owner who's fighting to be here and make our community better. Show her who we are as a community and what real power looks like. Sean, what is being done to you is wrong. These types of things are not what a leader does. These are the actions of a small-minded coward. Someone so afraid of an outspoken woman that they would use people who need to feed their families to do their dirty work. I will not stop fighting for you and anyone else trying to help to build the community that we deserve, because the power of the people is greater than the people in power.
Where's everybody at? What happened? I lost everybody. Hello, where? Jamal. Okay, here we go.
That was very strange. That to me is what a mayor. That is a leader, right? I appreciate the fact that she used her platform to defend this business and to call out what is being done. To me, that is how systemic racism works. By trying to just figure out, just harassing you at every point. And a lot of businesses do not have advocates, right? A lot of Black businesses do not have advocates. In Atlanta, and then in the city of Atlanta and the surrounding areas, we do have a lot of Black leaders, but so often our leaders are not, they're on their own agenda and they're not there to support us. And so I think that those of us that can, we definitely need to support Mayor Bianca, and we also need to support that business, because while she's being harassed by the city and anything that they can find, if the public and the community show up and support her, that gives her the strength and the encouragement to move forward. So I think it's really important. That's why we do this Black business every episode. We want to make sure that we're supporting our own, but we specifically want to be supporting our own when we're doing the work. We're showing up and operating in excellence, and we are dealing with opposition from the others. And we cannot allow that to happen. This is not how things are going down in 2026. And I think we need more leaders like Mayor Bianca.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. That was well said. Well said. She did a good job on that, as a leader should. Yeah.
So Jamal, we can have a cheat day and just run by, and just get something. We don't.
I actually go to Camp Creek. I go to BJ's over there.
We gotta, support. It's comfort food, which is okay for us to have every once in a while, as long as we're getting our workout in. But yeah, we definitely want to support Sean over at Big Back's Country Cajun Kitchen. Big Back's Cajun Chicken.
I gotta get my steps back in, because Jamal just showed me up on this internet, boy. I can't take it, man. I can't take it.
Oh my God.
I can't take it.
I'm here.
Jamal.
Me too.
I'm back in the gym. I'm trying to get it together so I can do those, those burpees.
I just want to say, Victor's in the gym all the time. Don't let him fool you. He's in the gym.
That's good.
All the time.
Yeah, but I ain't lifting 120 pound farmers. I ain't doing that.
Carries.
Yeah, I could do 50s, maybe 75.
The line is long. The line is long, Victor.
Now hold up.
I've been hearing this type of narrative from people like you talking about.
Hold up.
Like the third grade. You know what I mean?
Now hold up.
I want to beat Jamal. I'm gonna get Jamal. I'm gonna get him.
Hold up. I never said I can't get to 120 pounds. I just said I've done it before. I can work to get there.
Well,
I want to help you. Hey, Victor, how about that? I want to help you get to 120. How about that? When you come, we're not gonna compete. We're gonna collaborate. How about that? We'll collaborate.
I like that.
Yeah. Hey, Victor. You know why too? I like to be around winners, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I like to be around winners.
Me too.
I'm gonna beat you, and then it's gonna start getting awkward. You know what I mean? I want the energy high, the smile wide.
It can always be high with me in the gym.
Bubbling.
In the gym, it's all the time.
The funny thing is, Victor B, it's hilarious to me, because Jamal has this bragging, but Victor be the one stoking the fire.
Listen, all that play on my headset when I work out is Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm playing. You know what I'm saying? I only play like hard hip hop. I don't really listen to no singing music. Nah. I got it.
Right.
This is not a game.
It's not a game.
Hey, listen to Meek Mill. There's levels to this.
I do. I listen to Meek. I listen to Jay. I listen to Kanye.
You know.
I mean, I be playing it. Listen.
Hey, all right. That's what we doing. That Victor, Edna said, Victor, get it done. Get it done. You know what?
I be getting it done.
I will say I listen to Jeezy when I'm working out.
Oh, Jeezy too, of course.
That's a great one. That's a great artist. Yeah.
That's my go-to. And it was irritating because when I interviewed him, I told him that I was a fan of his music, and he was like, "I'm surprised that you would listen to it." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That's weird." Because when I'm working out, or if I was going to meet with a client and I'm trying to close a deal, I put on Jeezy. It gets me. I start feeling like I do the ad libs, and I start
that 101. That woo, boy, I be man. Listen,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any Jeezy Jay-Z combo, it's just that music is classic.
Rick Ross, Rick Mill.
I don't know about Rick Ross. I do Kanye.
Oh, Rick Ross got some records.
Not the new Kanye, but like the old Kanye. Yes.
Rick Ross got some records.
Graduation Kanye out there.
Yeah.
I got to.
Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Let's go to our inspirational quote of the day because
yes,
talked about big in our backs with some amazing Cajun country food, but we know we're still on a weight loss journey. And the affirmation for today is I embrace my passion, realizing it is leading me towards a higher version of myself. And there's a quote that goes along with this affirmation, which is by Oprah: follow your passion. It will lead to your purpose. And I love the fact that I listened to a conversation Oprah had years ago, and that's what inspired this. Because so often you hear people use this word purpose, and you know, people, well, are you in your purpose? Are you walking in your purpose? And I feel like there's a lot of it that's rhetorical propaganda, right? But a lot of it is true in the fact of you will feel your best and you will be the most proud of yourself and have the most sense of self-confidence when you are where you're supposed to be, right? And where you're supposed to be always comes from an internal source as opposed to external. So when you look at someone else and like, oh, I want that money, that's not leading you to your purpose. It's not leading you to your passion.
Right.
When you focus on what actually drives you and what God placed inside of you and listen to that and tune everything else out, that is your passion. And I do believe that it leads you to your purpose. I think so many people are trying to find their purpose through other people, right? They get on Instagram or they get on TikTok and they look at what someone else is doing and they think, well, I want my purpose to look like that. And the problem is you are not looking for your purpose in the right place. Your purpose is something that God has placed within all of us, right? So whatever it is that makes you feel most aligned with what comes naturally, that is where you're supposed to be. So if you follow what you're good at, what comes natural, what you're gifted at, you will be in alignment with your own purpose. You just have to follow that voice, follow that pull, right? I think a lot of times we become very, very overwhelmed and distracted by the noise around us, but all of us have a different gift. So I think for myself, when I, especially being in entertainment, it can be very easy to look around and compare yourself. And we know that comparison is a thief of joy. But when you get quiet and really figure out what gels with you, what makes me feel good, what am I naturally good at? Jala says talent can also lead you to your purpose. Talent and your passion are usually very much in sync, right? We know that, for myself, I know writing is something that came very naturally when I was young. And that if I went against that, I would be doing something that just was not in line with who I am. I've always, just even from being in third grade, I would just write that was my way of dealing with stress. If I was worried about something at my house, I would write a story to take me out of that. And staying in line with that, as opposed to chasing what other people have led me to what I believe is my purpose. And I believe all of us have something that God placed in us. I think the only reason most of us haven't found that is because we're so busy looking at what gifts other people have and comparing ourselves to them and trying to emulate that. And that never works. So remember that you're, put that up. Yes, embracing your passion. I embrace my passion as I realize it is leading me towards a higher version of myself. Follow your passion. It will lead to your purpose. That is our message for today.
Well said.
Amen.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have anything to say back? Y'all don't want to get
No,
listen.
You said it.
You know, I'm always have a nugget on me. I would take a page out of Russell Wilson's book, right? Like I said, countless players have been hating on him, criticizing him, and trying to separate and distance themselves from him, right? But I love his response, which is not a drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me. Not a drop. And I think that that's something that everybody should hide within their heart and their spirit and their soul like a treasure chest. Because you're going to need to call upon that, because self-belief is a real thing. And, you know, just because somebody's around don't mean that you're with that they're with you. And one of the major signs of a leader is being okay with people you want in your life coming in and out of your life, right? Without disrupting or interrupting where you're ultimately trying to get. So I agree with you. Everything, the real power is internal, not external.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I have nothing to add. You both said it excellent.
Well, Victor, do you feel like are you in your purpose? Are you in your passion? What is your passion?
My purpose, my passion is creative. I'm a creative being, and everything I do, whether it be cooking or whether it be creating a video or whatever, it's still all creative. And I lean into that, and I know that. And when someone tells you something about yourself and you embrace that, you start to understand who you are. So creative is my whole thing. This is my whole, no matter what I do, just creative. So yeah.
Amen. Amen, Victor. I like that. That's consistent of what I thought, Victor. You know what I mean? Creative guy, good guy, right? Good guy.
Hey, right? I tried, man.
But listen. You could be creative, but you dealing with somebody who could be destructive.
I'm Capricorn. Okay? I'm a Capricorn, so you know.
Destructive, Victor.
I'm a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn.
Physical skills, Victor.
I'm a Capricorn. You know what I mean?
Let's go. I don't know if you want to go in that world, Victor.
I'm a Capricorn.
Place.
I'm a Capricorn.
It can get dark. It can get dark before it gets light again.
Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn, so that's why I'm gonna say I'm a Capricorn.
What? Capricorns are they have the ability to disconnect. Very easily. They can disconnect. You would think we're on the same page. Capricorns can. I think it's because y'all are born in the cold winter months.
We love hard, but when we disconnect, and
it can be jarring. Like, whoa, yikes.
Yeah.
I think for Capricorns, well, for most Capricorns, I would say when we disconnect, you don't know we disconnected. We were disconnected like so far ago. You're thinking, and it's like, nah, but it just.
I believe that, and that's why I would never marry a Capricorn again.
but we love hard. We are lovers. We give our hearts.
But if I don't know when you disconnected, and I'm still connected, and you're disconnected, it could be a whole
that just depends on the situation. But for most parts, we love hard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Good guys. Thanks as always, Jamal. We look forward to Friday.
Yes, Jamal.
Man, good to have. Yes. I gotta talk at some point with the trainer.
You gotta come. You just let us know what you know what. Maybe we can have James come on a Friday, because I think we could just dedicate the entire Friday to fitness and sports. And so we can see if James can come on.
What the people think? Y'all agree on that?
Yeah,
a whole sports fitness Friday.
We're in this, because Jamal, we're doing this vacation challenge, which was June 1st to July 28th, and so
I remember from last week, 8 weeks.
The conversation with you and James and Victor, because Victor does. I will say, Victor during the day, he, encourages me to make sure I got my workout in, and I've been doing. Actually,
he sent me a couple of texts with his steps and stuff like that.
I try to do. I try to do my steps every single day. I don't post my workouts. I just post my steps, because my steps, like I said,
there you go.
That was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I try to just encourage people to, because for me, I noticed one thing, right? When it comes to working out, a lot of people lose their sense of what working out and being fit is. And I said, listen, if you can put your shoes on and go for a mile walk for a mile and walk back, that's 2 miles. If you do that every single day consistently, you will lose the weight. You'll be a lot happier because every workout works and going to the gym works, but it's about commitment. It's about commitment.
That's a good bar right there. Every workout works. I like that.
Yeah, it's about commitment, your level of commitment. If you're committed to just going for a walk every single day, if you can commit to the free thing, then you could commit to the paid thing, right? So if you can put your shoes on and go for a mile walk every single, just put your shoes on, put a mile in your phone, and then do a mile and mile back, 2 miles a day, and then you could do 3. I used to do that for work. When I lived in Atlanta, I put my shoes on lunchtime and go for a 1.5 mile walk every single day on my lunch break. And the people were like, "How are you doing this?" I put my sneakers on. I go for 1.5 miles, back. That's 3 miles every single day. Lunchtime. That's lunchtime.
Yeah, we're both
right? Chris,
I will say,
Crystal, you know what he's not saying, though, right?
What? What am I saying?
He must didn't like his job.
No. But I'm saying, if you got an hour for lunch, if it's an hour for lunch, I had an hour for lunch. I might as well.
I know, Victor. Good job. No, good job, Victor.
No, I ate at my desk. I ate at my desk. Yeah.
I would say my mom is 76 years old, right?
Yeah.
And as you guys know, my mom lives with me. She lived with me for the last 2 years. But my mom, I remember when I was younger, my mom would work out all the time. She wanted to be very much in shape. And to this day, my mom has never been in the hospital. She's never been out of commission. For the last 2 or 3 days, my mom, who's 76, and my son, who is 28, and myself have gone to the gym together. I cannot tell you how amazing it is to be able to see. My mom is right there. She's like, try this one out. She's on the machine. She's doing her in her little thick sole shoes. She's working. And I see that, and I see a lot of other people's mom that aren't as mobile, right? Because they may not. But I know my exercise and has been a priority for her from the time I knew her. So I remember her making us ride our bikes, and she was riding her bike, and she was this. So this is something that I'm thankful because I see her, living a life at 76 where she's driving, she's on the treadmill, she's on the bike, she's lifting weights, she's in the sun. Like she's really showing
health is wealth. Health is wealth.
So I'm thankful for that, and I encourage people to look at that. But I think that makes a big difference. Like this person, I'm not saying that she's not also blessed, and some people do work out and they still have issues, but my mom has never, ever in the hospital, never had any type of issue, but she's always been active. And even now, today, she prioritizes that she's going to go to the gym. And if she's not, she'll be up here getting on the treadmill, getting her steps in. So
I had a
pass down to your children. Go ahead, Victor.
I had a friend of mine who's an entrepreneur, and he told me this back in 2000, maybe 2008. He was like, listen, if you're going to work for yourself, take an hour every day and work out, exercise. If you work for yourself, and I said, wow. So I've been in the gym for my kids. I used to go to the YMCA in Atlanta when I lived there in Lawrenceville. And my son was like 3 or 4, and I put them in the YMCA, and they've been in the YMCA ever since. When I lived in Boston, I used to work out. I had a membership to the gym at Boston Sports Club, and then I had a membership at the gym at the YMCA, and I'll work out 5 days a week during work time. I'll work out fasted. I'll go do my workout and come back and eat. And then in the weekends, I had the YMCA workout. So because I love being in the gym. Like I tell people all the time, women go get their hair done. Gym is where I go get my work done. And I love that time, an hour or 2 in the gym, just taking my time working out, sweating, seeing my body change. Like that's amazing.
Amen. Amen.
That's what's up. All right. Well, you guys have an amazing weekend. We're wishing everybody an amazing weekend. It's good weather here in Atlanta. I'm sure it's good weather out there. And
beautiful. Sun's coming out now. Yeah.
Yeah. So you all have a beautiful weekend. We look forward to seeing you back on Monday. And we definitely look forward to seeing Jamal back next Friday.
Next Friday, Jamal. Thank you.
The Knicks and the Spurs.
Yeah, thank you too.
Oh, yes. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
All right. Peace.